Switzerland, known for its pristine nature, the Alps, and Switzerland is just a beautiful country. The main downside of Switzerland is that it's super expensive to be there. Even breathing is expensive, although the air is amazing. But what about SIM cards and mobile data? Well, that's also expensive, and the same applies to Swisscom, which we'll be exploring in this video. But this video is a little bit different from your regular explode video because we're going to be talking about two different countries. Swisscom is active in Switzerland and Liechtenstein, and they share the same network, meaning that everything that I'm talking about Swisscom right now also applies in Liechtenstein, and you can use the same SIM card in Switzerland and Liechtenstein. So that's an important note, and yeah, let's explore Swisscom, Switzerland and Liechtenstein. Hi, it's Adu from Phone Tourist here, where we talk about everything related to traveling with your phone, such as buying a Swisscom SIM card for Switzerland and Liechtenstein. If videos like this sound interesting to you, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Before we even continue with Swisscom, I have a very important note. Switzerland is in Europe. In fact, it's somewhat in the middle of Europe, but it's not part of the European Union or the European Economic Area. Meaning that if you have a SIM card from another EU country, meaning let's say Sweden, Lithuania, Spain, any other country you can think of, in most cases you cannot, repeat, you cannot roam for free in Switzerland. You can in Liechtenstein though, but Liechtenstein is very small and you might accidentally connect to the Tower of Switzerland and then you pay very high roaming fees. But you cannot roam for free in most cases. I say in most cases because there are some SIM cards out there that are generous enough to include Switzerland, but that's the minority. Like, I think it's a handful on top of my head. So remember, if you go to Switzerland and you think, hey, let me use my Dutch SIM card in Switzerland and not pay for roaming, in most cases you will, and the roaming fees will be higher than most cases because the limits are not imposed on Switzerland. What about Liechtenstein? Liechtenstein is part of the European Economic Area, so that also means that you can roam for free in Liechtenstein. But remember, these two countries, Switzerland and Liechtenstein, they share the same, phone system. And if you are close to the border of Liechtenstein, like Liechtenstein is very, thin, it might connect to the one of Switzerland, and then you will be paying hefty fees. So if you do want to roam for free in Liechtenstein, which you can, make sure to change your settings from automatic search to manual search, select Telecom Liechtenstein or the correct one. It will tell you, make sure it's not Switzerland though. Don't tell me I warned you when you come back with a big roaming bill. That's why it might be better to get yourself a local SIM card like Swisscom. Okay, that's enough about EU roaming, but I had to stress it because I can already see somebody going to Switzerland and getting a roaming bill because they thought it was free roaming. Let's talk a little bit more about SIM card or mobile operator situation here in Switzerland and in Liechtenstein. Switzerland, you actually have three main operators, which are Swisscom, which we'll be talking about in this video. We also have Sunrise and Salt Mobile. The same applies for Liechtenstein, except for the fact that Sunrise is not active in Liechtenstein for some reason. So if you go there, then, well, there's no Sunrise. When I say there, I mean Liechtenstein, of course. Of course, there are some MVNOs out there, including Lyca Mobile Switzerland, but honestly, it's not worth your time because the speeds are throttled, you won't get full access to the networks, and you're just better off staying with the big three or the big two in the case of Liechtenstein, including Swisscom. But what makes Swisscom so interesting or important? No, not important, interesting. Yes, it's because they are the largest mobile operator for a reason, because they have the best network and the fastest speeds for 4G and 5G. So if you want the best of the best, you want to go with Swisscom. Now, I do have to mention that I said that it has the fastest speeds. That's true, but in most cases or in most prepaid plans, your speeds are throttled up to 50 megabits per second. You can actually use 5G in Switzerland if you buy a add-on, I would say a 5G add-on, and then you get 5 gigabytes of 5G NR data for 24 hours, a 5 Swiss franc. It's this in euro, this in USD, and this in British pound, which, it ain't cheap, but it is an option. Okay, enough about that. How much will a Swisscom SIM card cost you? Well, you can get the SIM card from 19.90, so 90.90 Swiss franc with 20 Swiss franc in credit and 100 megabits of data as well. And you can get your SIM card at a Swisscom store, so you actually have to go to a Swisscom store. They are not, maybe some resellers sell them, but actually don't think so, mostly because SIM card registration is mandatory here in Switzerland, so it's better off going to the Swisscom, so that way you can ensure that registration has been done properly. Otherwise you cannot use your SIM card if it's not registered at all / properly. SIM cards or Swisscom SIM cards are also sold at Zurich International Airport, but if you buy a SIM card there, they will only sell you the more expensive plans over there, and I think there's a small tourist tax. It's not official tax, but you know, things at airports are much more expensive, and it's a bit more expensive at Zurich Airport as well, so be aware of this. Although Swisscom has eSIMs, they are not available to prepaid customers, but worry not, if you really want to have eSIMs, I will have some 12 eSIM recommendations later in this video. If you want to learn more about the registration requirements here in Switzerland and actually any other country around the world, make sure to go to ptw.link/registration, where you will have access to my lookup tool, where you can easily type in a country, let's say Switzerland, Sweden, and you will see if registration is required and what is required from you. And the link is of course in the description down below. Okay, so how to top up your Swisscom SIM card. So you get the top-up voucher at the Swisscom store, an SSB. Yeah, that's the ticket machine from the local train operator. You can get them as well, and many resellers including grocery stores will sell them to you. To redeem it, you dial *123* the voucher code, and you close it with the pound key or hashtag depending on how you know this symbol. So let's say the voucher code is 123456, you would dial *123*123456 and then the pound key. Checking your balance can be done by dialing *130 and the pound key. And of course you can also use the Swisscom app if you want to, which is also available in English. You can also recharge online with international debits and credit cards, which is convenient as well if you don't want to go out and get yourself vouchers. Alright, now we're gonna talk about the plans offered by Swisscom, which are 3. And of course you can use these plans in both Switzerland and Liechtenstein, and the prices are the same because Liechtenstein also uses the Swiss franc. So if you want to have the up-to-date currency conversions, so we just list everything in Swiss franc, make sure to go to ptw.link/wise, and then you can convert it to whatever you need. Alright, starting with the flat rate, which is one of the combo plans available with Swisscom, which can be activated on the My Swisscom app. Prices for 20 Swiss franc, 65 and 150. You get unlimited data for 7, 30 or 90 days. That's what flat refers to. This name is also... Wow, somebody's angry outside. You get unlimited data, but the speeds are throttled to up to 50 megabits download and 10 uploads. But you also get unlimited local minutes and local SMS for 7, 30 and 90 days. And as you notice, compared to my export videos of other European countries in the European Economic Area, there's no EU roaming allowance because you cannot roam for free with Swisscom. So yeah, be aware of this. And of course, you can use it in Liechtenstein or the other way around, depending on where you buy your SIM card. No, actually no, Swisscom doesn't have any stores in Liechtenstein, so you can only buy it in Switzerland. So you have to buy it there. Alright, then you have the in-one mobile prepaid plan, which is only one option basically. Where for 2 Swiss franc you get unlimited data, which is true, but only 10 gigabyte of it will be at high speed data, and then it will be throttled to extremely slow speeds. I think it's like 128 kilobits per second or 1 megabit per second, which both of them are extremely slow. So yeah, whatever. So try to stay within the 10 gigabyte high speed allowance. But this is only valid until midnight. So if you want to keep using this, you have to buy it every day. Let's say if you stay for a full month, then you will pay 60 Swiss franc, which is not cheap at all. Then we close it off with the prepaid data plan, which are data plans or data bundles, starting from 7 Swiss franc up to 20 and 45. They get 520 and 5 gigabytes of data, with speeds are throttled with 50 download and 10 upload, all valid for 30 days. So while yes, Swisscom has amazingly fast speeds if you have a postpaid SIM card, in most cases, unless for the in-one plan, your speeds will be throttled, unfortunately. And remember, if you want to have 5G access, you can do so by getting the add-on that I mentioned earlier. For 5 Swiss franc, you will get 5 gigabyte of 5G data, and this one will be valid for 24 hours. Okay, so I mentioned that Swisscom does not have any eSIMs, and that these plans are quite pricey. In fact, they are actually pricey, and there are some 12 eSIMs out there which are surprisingly cheaper than the local options. And if you have watched my Explode videos, especially the last one from last week was Movistar Spain, in that case the 12 eSIMs are more expensive, but it can be convenient for some other reasons. Now in this case, the 12 eSIMs are cheaper than the local options, which is incredible, and you actually do not have to deal with the throttle speeds, because the roaming agreements with the 12 eSIM providers allow you to not have full speeds, so you won't get 5G access, but the speeds will be better than up to 50 megabits per second. So I actually have 3 different options for you with 3 amazing discounts available as well. The one that I recommend the most is the one from Airalo, and this one is called Pilates Mobile, where you can get 1 gigabyte for 7 days or 3, 5 and 10 gigabyte of data for 30 days as an eSIM. And the 1, 5 and 10 gigabyte versions are very incredibly popular with phone travel with readers and watchers. I've seen a report, I've got an email saying, hey, great recommendation, good speed, good coverage. So yeah, I can recommend that to you too. If you go to ptw.link/Switzerland-Airalo, which this link is also in the description down below, you will get exclusive deals only available to phone travel with readers. So yeah, why not take advantage of it if you want to travel eSIM, which will be cheaper than Swisscom itself and all the other mobile operators here in Switzerland. If you plan on going to other EU countries or EEA countries, I could also recommend the Eurolink eSIM, which can be used in, well, I think on top of my head, 38 countries in Switzerland and all the other European countries and a few others. This eSIM I've used as well in many countries. You actually have a few more options. For example, also a 50 gigabyte of data for 90 days and 100 gigabytes of data for 180 days. And I've tried the 100 gigabyte version as well. And the 3 and 5 gigabyte version are very popular with phone travel with readers and watches. And if you want to get this eSIM instead of Switzerland-Airalo, in this case it will be Europe-Airalo. Finally, I have another option for you. I recently started a collaboration with Holafly because they introduced unlimited data plans in Europe. Yes, unlimited data plans, which also applies for Switzerland. We can get unlimited data for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 60 and 90 days in case you want to stay in Switzerland for that long. And if you go to ptw.link/Switzerland-Holafly and you use code PhoneTravelWiz, you get 5% off your order. You may be thinking, well, Swisscom also has unlimited data plans. That's true, but that's at total speed, whereas that does not apply with Holafly. So if you want unlimited data for cheaper than Swisscom itself, but more expensive than Airalo, you might want to go with Holafly. Then you might be thinking, well, okay, all this eSIM talk is fun, but my phone doesn't support eSIM. Worry not. My friends at SIM Corner, they have an amazing Switzerland SIM card for you that you can use in Switzerland and the rest of the European Union, giving you 12 gigabytes of data, 3000 minutes and 3000 SMS, valid for 30 days. And this SIM card will be shipped to your home before you go to Switzerland or any other EU country. And if you use the link ptw.link/Switzerland-SIM Corner, you get the best deals available. You can use code PhoneTravelWiz to make sure that the code is applied properly, but in most cases it is, so you don't have to worry about that. Alright, that's what you need to know about Swisscom, which is actually the best option here in Switzerland. But it is expensive, just like everything else in Switzerland. So I actually really recommend getting yourself a 12 eSIM or a 12 SIM card to save money and still have a good experience when in Switzerland, especially with Swisscom throttling your speed. What about the other options? What about Sunrise if you stay in Switzerland or Salt Mobile? I have explored videos for these two mobile operators too, which you can watch at the eye shown on the screen, the playlist. Or if you go to ptw.link/Switzerland-guide, you can read my in-depth Switzerland SIM card buying guide, like is shown back here, although that's just the image for the guide. And this guide has been read by many readers. I think it's right now the top 5, number 5 and number 4 most read guide on my website. So it's very useful and people love it and found it, of course, very insightful. Alright, so that's what you need to know about Swisscom. Next week we'll be talking about another mobile operator, which, well, I cannot quickly see which it is without my glasses, but you can watch that. And the upload of Monday is a SIM card buying guide, and on Friday you can watch a review. That's it for today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.